might be the main issue. Looking to swap it out with my dipole, I think, later today to improve the signal here on 40 meters. It's an end-fed compromised antenna on this end, running about 25 watts from a Canvas 590 SG, right outside of Corning, New York. Name is Bill, Bravo India Lima Lima, and again, we're just outside of Corning, New York. Fairly low power and a compromised antenna, but we thought we would try N2DTS from W2MX.
Okay, well, no need to apologize. You know, you got to run what you have. They took a fade out pretty deeply at the end there. We're running 100 watts out of a 32 V3 low power station into a fan dipole up about 50 feet, cut for 80, 40, and 20. Listening to you on a homebrew single conversion superhet. The signal sounds good for whatever you're running, for the conditions. Good crisp audio. Handle here is Brett, Bravo Romeo Echo Tango Tango. Just fooling around in the shack and heard you calling, and just thought I'd give a response, even though I think the band has woken up yet. W2MX from N2DTS.
November 2, Delta Tango Sierra. Very good, Brett, from W2MX up here in Corning, New York. Just about 90 miles south of Rochester on the New York-Pennsylvania state line. And very good. Yeah, I won't hold it. You're 20 over 9 with no fade. You're solid into here. So your antenna in 100 watts is doing very well. No problem hearing you on my end. So again, 20 over 9 with no fade at all. So you're doing quite well. Yeah, I'm going to work on things a little bit today, maybe improve the antenna situation, go back to my dipole. This antenna requires quite a bit of tuning to make it work. The dipole is flat, so a lot more energy going out to that versus coming back here to the tuner. But I thought we'd try a little bit of Saturday, or actually Sunday. Now it's Sunday morning AM, so getting my days mixed up here. I won't hold it though. I'm going to jump out of here and see if anybody else wants to get on the band here. But thanks, Brett, for coming back to my CQ, and maybe we'll be back in here at some point with a little bit of more signal strength. N2DTS from W2MX.
W2MX from N2DTS. Fine copy that time, Bill. You were pretty solid. You're an S9 or a little bit over. The noise level's an S5, so quite okay. I wonder what rig you're running. And I don't believe I ever tried an end-fed antenna or an off-center fed antenna. I've always been afraid of the imbalance, figuring that there would be a whole lot of RF in the shack and other issues from such an antenna. Now, you never know how things are going to radiate and work. You know, height above ground, length of antenna, orientation, frequency, skip or local. So you never know. I suppose it certainly could be, in certain circumstances, might work better than a dipole. I don't use a tuner in the AM portions of the band. I think if you have to use a tuner and really tune out a lot of standing wave, probably not the most efficient, but could also be a pretty good all-band antenna. So everything seems to be a compromise, but I have never tried a loop antenna or an end-fed or an off-center fed. I've always been a very balanced kind of person. So if I wanted to get on 160, I would likely have to try something like that, and use a tuner, because I just don't have the real estate for anywhere near a good 160 meter antenna. 80 meters and up, I got that covered, but 160 is challenging. So anyway, signal came up quite nicely. Usually run at least 3 times the power here, but I thought I'd give the 32V3 a workout. I've had it for a long time, and it's never crapped out yet. So I've probably had it 45 years or so, and it still just continues to function as well as it ever did with all the original parts in use. So, and even the tubes. So I find that pretty amazing. W2MX, you don't have to run off, you have a pretty good signal level. Wonder what you're running there. We're mostly homebrew here, but have a few pieces. W2MX from N2DTS, Southern New Jersey.
November 2, Delta Tango Sierra from Whiskey 2 Mike X-Ray. Okay, we'll hold it for a little bit here and see if the signal maintains there. Running a Kenwood 590 SG. Kenwood 590 SG. I have it figured kind of a little bit of a modulation into the computer through the associated software to try and impart some modulation onto this low carrier. It's a 25 watt carrier. The antenna is an end-fed. It's a Chameleon NCOM base 3 antenna. It's about 130 feet long, and I have a 52-foot counterpoise strung along the ground, and that is gives me 160, believe it or not. It not a lot of fire in the wire, as they say, but it does put out a signal on 160. It's most effective on CW versus sideband, but on 160 and tunes up nicely there. It gives me this antenna gives me 40, 80, and 160, which is good. And I do have a dedicated 40 and 20 meter dipole. It's a trap dipole for both of those bands by Kellerman. Really good quality dipole, but that's down at the moment, so I thought I'd try the end-fed for a while. And the end-fed gives me everything pretty much 10 through 160. But the signals do seem a little stronger on the dipole, but that could be also subjective because the dipole is oriented a different direction than the end-fed. So when I've compared the two, the signals are a little bit different, but that could be, of course, based on just the orientation of each antenna. So not exactly a scientific study, but nonetheless, I thought we'd try this a little bit this morning. So again, hopefully you got hopefully the signal's hanging in there, and you got the rig. Again, it's a Kenwood 590 at 25 watts. And the antenna's not very high. It's strung between the house and a shed out back. And again, runs about 130 feet or so in length. Fairly low to the ground, not more than 25 feet high at its highest point. N2DTS, and fine business on your station there. I got your QRZ page up too, Brett. From Whiskey 2, Mike X-Ray.